Hello, this is Tony Heller from RealClimateScience.com talking about extreme rainfall. Climate experts say that extreme rainfall is increasing due to global warming. Their explanation is that air is warmer now and warmer air can hold more moisture. The recent flooding in Germany is cited as an example of how global warming is causing more extreme rainfall. Parts of Germany got 5 inches of rain in just 24 hours between July 14th and July 15th. This was cited as proof of global warming. Had they done any fact-checking, they would have known that in 1920, Germany received 5 inches of rain in just 8 minutes. The intensity of the 1920 rainfall was about 200 times higher than this year's rain. And according to NASA, the 1920 world record rainfall occurred during one of the coldest years on record. You can go to German cities and see markers of past floods. The 1920 flood was really bad, but in 1501 it was much worse. It's pretty clear that Haley Fowler, professor of climate change impacts at Newcastle University, has no clue what he's talking about. But I'm just getting started. This story gets much more ridiculous. 45 years ago this week was one of the deadliest floods in U.S. history. 12 inches of rain fell in just a few hours north of Estes Park, Colorado. This produced a massive flood in the Big Thompson River Canyon, which killed nearly 100 people. These pictures were published 45 years ago today. Also this week, Pakistan was being ravaged by floods. And at the same time Colorado and Pakistan were flooding, England was having their hottest and driest summer on record. That same summer, the CIA issued a report saying that global cooling was going to cause global instability. The CIA said that because of global cooling, the politics of food will become the central issue of every government. So the floods in 1976 were caused by global cooling, but now apparently floods are caused by global warming. That same year, pine beetles were on the rampage in Oregon. But now the U.S. government says that pine beetles, which have been around for hundreds of millions of years, are caused by global warming. Colorado had terrible flooding during August of 1976, but the following winter was the driest on record. There was no snow at Vail when President Ford went to ski there for his Christmas vacation. He probably should have gone to Florida to ski instead of Colorado, because a few weeks later it snowed in Miami. January 1977 was record cold in Florida and the citrus crop froze, but Alaska was very warm. In fact, Alaska was warmer than Florida during January 1977. National Geographic described it as the year the weather went wild. Cars in Buffalo, New York were completely buried in snow. Governor Jerry Brown warned of drought disaster in California. He said that California was facing a disaster of immeasurable magnitude, and then a few months later, California and Arizona were flooded. The freak weather of January 1977 was blamed on a big ridge in the jet stream over the western United States and a dip over the eastern United States. Science News explained how a wavy jet stream was associated with global cooling. But now climate experts say that a wavy jet stream is caused by global warming instead of global cooling. So apparently the symptoms of global cooling are exactly the same as the symptoms of global warming. Now let's go back to 1934 and 1935. 1934 was the warmest May of the last century in the United States, and 1935 was the coolest. The worst drought on record occurred in the United States during 1934, which was also the hottest year. But May of 1935 was the coolest May of the last century. Texas received world record rainfall during May of 1935. They got 22 inches of rain in less than 3 hours. And the Texas record rainfall of May 1935 broke a record which was set in Colorado just a few hours earlier. Colorado received 23 inches of rain in just 4 hours during May of 1935. In this graph, I plot out average May precipitation in the United States versus average maximum temperature. As temperature goes up, precipitation goes down, and as temperature goes down, precipitation goes up. More precipitation is associated with cooler temperatures, not warmer temperatures. Warmer temperatures are associated with drought, like in 1934. The record precipitation in Colorado at the end of May in 1935 caused the worst flooding on record in Nebraska. The United States was having record cool weather, and India was having record hot weather. They got up to 124 degrees. But now the New York Times tells us that 1 degree cooler in India, 123 degrees, is evidence of global warming. What's really going on is that these climate experts have no clue what they're talking about. Heavy precipitation is generally associated with cooler air, not warmer air. This is because moisture condenses when the air drops below its dew point temperature. And that's exactly the problem with their theory. They say that warmer air can hold more moisture, which is true. But precipitation comes when the air can't hold its moisture. That's why precipitation is very often associated with cold fronts. Alaska is the second wettest state in the country, and it's also the coldest. And California gets almost all of the rain during the winter when it's cold. There isn't any link between global warming and extreme rainfall events, but there is a link between climate change alarmism and superstition. Toto has been pulling back the curtain on this mass delusion for the past 13 years. You can visit him, Kyrie, and Caesar on the web at realclimatescience.com.